What's up, guys? It's Des with Divine Geomatrix DG Readings. I hope you guys had a great week last week, and let's just talk about how August is already done. I'm honestly tripping over here thinking like, wow, so much time has passed. Where did this year go? And I'm hoping that you guys are seeing it as, we have 1/4 of the year left, and we can do whatever we possibly can within that quarter. So let's go ahead and end this year right, and be as productive as we can. Listen to what the divine has in store for us, and really open up our heart center to all the blessing and abundance that the universe has to offer us. All right, well, I miss you guys. I'm so happy that you are here to join me. Again, welcome to Divine Geomatrix. Today we're going to dive in and see what messages the universe has for our collective. This is going to be a weekly reading from August 31st through September 6th, Sunday, September 6th, 2020. I do want to let you guys know that time is most definitely an illusion. So if just because I am prompting this reading to be for that week doesn't necessarily mean it has to resonate only for that week. If you are being called to this message, then that is for you at that time. So let's go ahead and see what we need to talk about today. As you guys know, I like to start off with a burning of Palo Santo just to clear some space and open up our energies to really receive the messages, not just hear, but fully listen to the messages that the universe and spirit has for us. All right. I love the smell of Palo Santo. I actually need to get more. I'm sure you guys know, but on Tuesday, September 2nd, we have a full moon coming in. It's supposed to be the corn full moon. Usually this is the harvest moon, so this is a great time to start new projects, get creative, tap into that creative energy and flow, find out projects that maybe you've forgotten about and that you should just kind of take over and start building from wherever you left off. Also, spending a lot of time with family and friends is going to be a great time right now for this, is to really work on your connections with your loved ones and keep building those connections. And it's a two-way street. So just because someone's doing the work to keep your relationship afloat doesn't mean that's how it should be. Sorry, I don't know why I was slipping over my words right there, but let's go ahead and get into the reading. Okay, hold on. See, I'm all over the place. Let me go ahead and play my Tibetan singing bowl just a little bit so that I can kind of clear out my energies, open up my heart center, and open up my channel to be a better reader for you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Ooh. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Let's go ahead and start off with the Native Heart Healing Oracle deck, and we can clarify with our energy oracle cards. I did reset the deck already, but I am going to do 3 shuffles just to set it toward our weekly reading. What's funny is this was my first deck of cards that I have ever received for my oracle cards, right? And before, I was never able to put my hands over these cards. Now I'm able to do it, but I have another set of cards that are very similar in like width and length, and they're really hard to stretch my hands over. So it's just really interesting. I guess your palms or your hands as a reader get used to cards after a while, but in the beginning it's very tense. And it kind of brings me to that point of resistance, right? So when we are resisting our healing, it tends to be very tight. It tends to be very difficult to keep stretching and keep pushing, right? But the moment that we surrender and we allow spirit to really take over and show us how we're supposed to do certain things, it becomes that much easier. And with practice, it becomes that much easier. So, yeah. Top 3 cards. Spirit says. Cut first, and then top 3 cards. Okay, and then shuffle. Alright, what messages do you have for us, Spirit, for the week of August 31st? August 31st through September 6th, Spirit. Okay. Okay. Time. Well, Spirit has a lot of cards for me today. Record Keeper is at the bottom of the deck. This is a great card to start off with because it talks about remembering that you're being guided and remembering that you have a blueprint already set out for you, okay? And within that blueprint are all these little roads and all these little journeys that make up your overall experience spiritually, okay? Around that blueprint or around that map, so you say, is a big bubble. And they say that orbs, like bubbles like this, of energy are spirits. So the way I depict this card is basically that this is us, right? This is us on our spiritual journey. This is our spirit guides watching and protecting us. And then the divine is sending that energy from above through our spirit guides and into our journey and helping us ground our energies here on earth, okay? And it's funny because I actually never, it's too late now, but I didn't even like pray over my cards. Wow. Anyways, so it's funny because I've pulled this card a few times and I actually never really seen these cards and depicted it in that way and read it in that way. But now that I'm really looking at it, it does show that, okay, let's see, you're in the center, okay? You're in the center of this. And just like spiders weave their webs, right? So you are currently weaving your dreams into reality. But that weave, that web that you're creating was a web that was already predestined for you. Like each move, in a sense, was predestined for you. But everything is a choice. So you can choose to make that web, or you can choose to, just take every day as what it is without creating a security net for yourself. But regardless, the record keeper talks about how, there is a divine plan above, and following your purpose is basically what your mission here is on earth. As a soul being within your human body, you have a calling to do something. And you might start to feel that there's something that is calling you or pulling you towards something. It could be something that intrigues you now but didn't intrigue you in the past. And all of a sudden you're just kind of like, oh, I need to know more about that thing. Well, whatever that thing is, Spirit really wants you to press and push yourself to learn more about that specific thing, to practice it so that you can strengthen the ability to work through and with it, and then also grounding your energies to stay here in this human earth, so that you can fulfill the soul mission that was already predestined for you, if that makes sense. All right, let's go ahead. Never mind. Moonflower. So you have the spirit animal of an owl here. And it's really beautiful that in the back of it is a full moon, and we do have a full moon coming up in the next couple days. Relic of Time is the next one. I love this card. I love this card. I did say time is an illusion in the beginning, correct? Third eye chakra. I love this card because it's mirroring each other. You have, inward and outward mirrors, and the almost what looks like a full moon here, kind of completing them together. There's two halves in this specific card. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it in threes. So we have Moonflower, Relic of Time, and Third Eye Chakra. What it feels like right off the bat. We are learning to see not only with our human eyes, but our third eye, our spiritual eye, to see the truth of what's going on in our world. A lot of light is being shined on darkness right now, and the darkness that we have been living in for a long time. Spirit is challenging us to tap into that inner owl, one where we can see 365 degrees. Yeah, and where we can basically see of all angles and all different perspectives. Spirit wants us to see the darkness, see through the darkness, and see those little glimpses of light that shine through. Those glimpses of light are light workers waking up. People who are here with a mission to help educate and awaken other soul beings to fulfill a greater mission here on earth. For those who have been doing the soul work here and have been strengthening themselves spiritually will understand the metaphors that I use in these videos, but it does seem like we are waking up to the truth, and we're seeing our world and our reality for what it is and what was created for us, not necessarily what we have created. Relic of Time is basically, for me, what this card is saying is that we are learning and living through past experiences. A lot of what we're experiencing today is a mirror of what we've already gone through in the past. It could be in this life, it could be in past lives, but we are going through those lessons in order to learn, completely fulfill and complete that lesson to move forward to better our future. So there might be loose ends that we haven't tied up and are affecting us from moving forward to whatever our calling may be. It also speaks to me about how we may feel that we're losing time, or we might feel that time is moving very quickly. I did mention it in the beginning of the video, that, kind of laughing off that it's already the end of August and we're hitting the last quarter of the year. That is definitely a feeling I know I have been experiencing, is that feeling of wasting time, and also feeling like time is slipping through my fingers. I know a lot of you have been feeling that as well. I do want to help change your perspective a little bit and see that we don't have to trigger our anxieties by thinking that we have lost time. Time is an illusion, like I mentioned. So if time is an illusion, then the things that have or have not happened yet can easily be done at our own time. But the time is now for us to really act and cater toward our soul selves versus just our human body. Okay, this is just like a spacesuit. It's something that our soul is residing in to keep it safe. But internally is what makes us tick. Internally is what makes us unique and makes us different and sets us apart from everyone else. We have forgotten to cater to that soul self because the collective, the elites, the people who are up there want us to be very much the same, very much robotic in our mannerisms, in the way that we look, feel, and perceive life in itself. It's time to break out of that matrix and challenge ourselves to step into the divine matrix, right? So the reason I named my business name Divine Geomatrix is because the divine is what basically leads me, right? It is the universal energetic being, the energies around us collectively, right? And those energies are really what feeds us as a soul, recharges us, grounds us, and keeps us present so that we can stay in this very moment to fulfill whatever mission we have here on earth. Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of us have lived more than one life. We have reincarnated in many, many lives. But here in this reality, in this time, I feel we need to learn how to see time in a different way. We have been programmed, we have been conditioned to see time as that 24-hour period, 7 days a week type of ordeal, and we only have that amount of time in order to get things done. That's false. We have the ability to check in with ourselves to see, okay, well, what time is great for me? Am I a morning person? Am I an evening person? Am I a night person? Am I the type of person that likes to wake up at 4 a.m, have all of my workout and breakfast and all of these, meditation, all these different things done before I even clock into work? Am I the type of person that after I get out of work, I want to do those things instead of in the mornings? So that's an example, but there are a lot of different things that, that this idea can be applied to. It could be making time for your passions rather than saying, oh, I'll do that later. I'll get to that later. Well, when is later? Now is later. Now is the time to get it done. Especially with our harvest moon, this week is going to be a great time to really pick back up on those projects that maybe you've been putting off. Spending time with family, thinking that, I'm going to spend time with them later. But honestly, the clock is ticking and we're not getting any younger. So spending time and really catering to those relationships are going to only benefit you, because what happens is you're catering to your roots and you're allowing your roots to dig even deeper, so that when storm comes, and let's say you're that tree and your roots are dug deep. When that storm comes, you're not going to fall. You're not going to just, completely timber down, because you have those strong roots that are holding you to the ground and keeping you fully grounded, keeping you in one place, to feel a little bit more protected, a lot more in place, and thinking that you are in the right place at the right time type of feeling. Relic of Time definitely has a lot of messages in here. I do want to mention that this card has a lot of oranges and yellows. So right off the bat, what I get here is it's time to focus on your creativity. And with doing so, you're actually going to strengthen your solar plexus. So strengthen your creativity, find out what it is that really bring you passions, find a way to be creatively expressive in those things, and find out where those messages may be that you need to look within those messages to strengthen your confidence. I'll give you an example. So the other day I went to Point Loma, and being in that surrounding in the harbor and just hearing the birds, watching the sun go down, smelling the water. I know it's kind of weird because it's a little bit of a fishy smell, but being in a different environment aside from, being completely in the city, it felt amazing. The breeze was just hitting my skin. The sun just felt like it was recharging me. The sounds were so peaceful and zenful that I couldn't help but be present. And in that moment is when I realized, wow, I'm feeling very connected. I'm feeling very connected with the universe that I want to start writing. So I pulled out my phone and went to my notes and I started writing. When I was rereading it, I realized I was writing a poem. And I haven't done that in a very long time. I used to write poems all the time. And I never really studied studied the structure of poems and really how to dive in with it, but I've kind of just had this intuitive nature of creating my own. And that's something that really brought me a lot of pleasure and a lot of passion in my younger years. And I think it's something that I should start incorporating in my everyday life. So what are those things that remind you of who you are, and how can you incorporate them in your everyday lifestyle? Next we have third eye chakra. So yeah, between these two cards, they want you to open up your third eye and see the truth and see reality for what it is. Time is ticking. Spirit just told me that time is of the essence. Even though time is an illusion, time is of the essence right now. It's time to wake up. It's time to see what's really going on and how you can get involved and how you can better our situations by making a change, standing up for a change. Sun God. That's also some oranges and yellows in here as well. Star Child. Green. Heart Center. Keeper of the Light. Also some greens in here. And then we have Goddess Butterfly. So right off the bat, I'm getting Spirit wants us to really focus on our heart center, learning how to tap into unconditional love, learning to cocoon within ourselves so that we can do a lot more self-seeking. With this card shows that inward and outward type of mirroring. So it's telling me to look inward, to tap into the energies that might be holding me back, tap into the lessons that are confronting itself, to close out those old cycles and to renew a new one. Learning and moving forward from our past experiences and acknowledging that the things that we're going through right now are simply to better ourselves and better our future, but it's also to acknowledge where we started and see and appreciate where we are today, to not only sit in appreciation and reflection, but to reflect on how we can better ourselves for our future and to better our future. There might be some old habits that aren't resonating with you anymore that you're still doing just because it is a habit. I challenge you to start writing or paying attention to the things that you do on a regular basis and how you can switch those habits and turn it into something a little bit more productive and a little bit more beneficial for your overall betterment. For Sun God, this specific mandala speaks to me on how we're starting from the bottom and going up. So yes, I'm hearing Drake's song, Started from the Bottom. Okay, so for him, it's a little different because his reference was basically, his hard lifestyle and him going from very little to a lot, And with this specific mandala, not only is this an ancient artifact or whatever it's called, anyways, you know what I'm saying. I'm drawing a blank for the word, I'm sorry, but yeah, so this is something that is a symbol of what is connected to like the Mayan blood. And they had Aztecs, right? They were warriors. They were basically ones who fought in order to get not recognized in a sense, but to receive more recognition on where they were in power. There was no hierarchy like there is today, but learning how to see our lives as our own bubble, right? And we have the ability to rise above wherever we may feel we're being forcefully placed. Without getting too into detail and too into specifics with this, what it feels like is we are being challenged to look inside of ourselves on how we can go from where we are now and go up to the top and wherever we see ourselves being. This staircase right here, it is very solid. It is, it's full of gold. And the way I read this card is every step is a step toward more abundance, more blessings, and trusting that these abundance, these riches, these blessings are coming from the divine is only going to help you tap into your own internal power, your own power that you were just born with naturally. And as you're tapping into that power, you're also strengthening your solar plexus, you're strengthening your sacral chakra, your relationship with yourself, and also reclaiming your power to act on that power and do something about it by following your passions. These two cards, like I mentioned, these two cards have something to do with your heart center. They're basically telling you it's time to look inward, and it's time to cocoon, like I mentioned, to reflect on the lessons that you need to learn to better spread your wings. Because when you come out of that cocoon, you're going to see the world with a fresh pair of eyes. And when you come out, you're going to want to spread your wings, stretch it out a little bit. And that moment of stretching, that act of stretching, is basically you going from one version of yourselves into the authentic version of yourself. So finding the things that really make you you. And what I noticed here, you have, I don't know if you can see, but 333. So 333. Look into the meaning of 333, angel number, and there should be some messages in there for you. Aside from that, we have goddess butterfly. So between the hummingbird and the butterfly, so the butterfly is the one where I was talking about. Really look inward and cocoon yourself so that you can come out and spread your wings. The hummingbird is one that basically allows you to see it, but doesn't stay long enough for you to touch it or do anything about it. So basically, go around, be doing your stuff, be productive. People are going to watch you, admire when they catch you and they see you in the moment of, in the act of you doing your work. They're gonna be like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? I can't believe you look so gorgeous and so bright and so amazing. Like, what are you doing differently? And that simple question is going to open up a door for someone else to really show up as themselves, right? So if I'm lacking confidence within myself and I feel like I'm just completely down in the dumps, and so I look at one of my friends who used to be very, very in a closed-minded perspective, who is doing the work and being more genuine with their authentic self rather than their materialistic self. I'm going to stop and recognize that and say, hey, what is it that you're doing? Because I see something different in you, and I think it's, you're glowing. Something's different, and I want that too. So it's a conversation starter. It's something that will help someone be like, wow, I think it's time that I need to reclaim my power and start doing whatever that person's doing as well. Conscious channeling is the next card, and then we have Silver Wolf. So for Silver Wolf, I want to kind of go back to Moonflower. So just like the owl, the Silver Wolf is able to see in the darkness. But the difference between the owl and the wolf is the wolf is walking on foot and the owl is seeing from a higher perspective. So the Moonflower is telling you, see from a higher perspective, but Silver Wolf is telling you to stay grounded and protected, but also trust that the divine is watching you. In this card, he's represented by the moon as well. So follow through by the moon and tap into your own Silver Wolf. Tap into that protector, that stealthy like motion, right? So he's able to even walk through snow, but each time he's walking, he's imprinting his paw and leaving a footprint in that snow. So it's kind of challenging you to check in with your inner wolf. You know, check in with that protector, that person who's leading by example, leading the pack. Find out who your soul tribe is, and look up at the moon in guidance. So trust that the universe is going to help provide, you know, your soul tribe to lead by example and allow that tribe to follow in your footsteps. Next, we have conscious channeling, and with this card, it's basically what I'm doing right now. I am acting as an open channel for the collective to provide any messages that the divine wants to talk about. And as I'm doing that, I'm opening up my energies to a lot of different things. Yes, it's going to be a little difficult at first, because it's going to start with you differentiating your energy and other energies. When you do that, you do need to learn how to protect yourself. And as an open channel, protecting yourself is going to allow your energies to stay within a certain, you know, certain like space, so that other people cannot affect yours and vice versa. It's time to awaken spiritually and help those around us by doing the same, right? So it's time to plant little seeds of awakening and help other people sprout. Like I said, we're in a very dark world right now, and we need all the light workers we can get. With the amount of people waking up to their soul journeys, I'm seeing a lot of people leading by example and helping those around them by telling them their own personal testimonial on how they're getting to whatever energies they're currently at. So if I'm over here glowing, right? I'm glowing and I'm in my own energy, I'm staying in alignment, and someone comes up to me and is like, you know, Desiree, there's something that you're doing. I don't know what it is, but, you know, what are you doing and how can I do it too? I will, you know, I'll probably tell that person, well, I've been practicing a lot more spirituality in my everyday routine. I've been meditating more, I've been doing yoga, I've been eating cleaner, all of these different things to really cater to the soul, because that's really what we need to be doing, is feeding our soul, not necessarily just the physical human being that we see in the reflection. Okay? So just look at these two cards right here. So these two cards are basically telling you to leave your mark, and open up as a channel. Open up for the divine to show up as their authentic selves, and lead by example, so that your pack can also learn how to eventually lead as well. All right, let's go ahead and get some clarification with the energy oracle. We're already at a half hour, so I don't really want to go too further. I'm hoping that Spirit doesn't have a whole lot of cards for me, but we'll see. All right, guys. I hope you're hanging in. I hope you're staying with me here. I know it's a lot to digest, but it's stuff that we already know. Every time I do these, every week, it's just stuff that we already know. I might be saying it in a different perspective than what you guys might be used to, which would help, but it's stuff you already know. Right, Spirit, what would you like to talk to the collective about today? What would you like to talk to the collective about today? Hey. Indecision, upright, at the bottom of the deck. So you're at a crossroads. With everything that I mentioned from the last deck, what it feels like is that you know you're being called to this energy that I just mentioned from my native healing oracle, but you are resisting it because of habit, because of comfort, because of fear, doubt, feeling you're unworthy and you're not capable of doing this. Um, but you wouldn't be receiving this message. You wouldn't have been predestined for this mission if you weren't capable of doing it. So keep in mind that, yeah, sometimes we're going to sit in fear of our own success. I get it. But think about that for a second. We're sitting in fear of our own successes. Why? Everyone has the right to be successful. There's more than enough money, abundance, energy, love, all of it to go around. But for whatever reason, we've learned to be conditioned to thinking that everything is scarce, everything is limited, and only certain people can tap into that type of power, that type of abundance, that type of living. No, that's wrong. Everyone has the ability to tap into that type of power, that type of life, that type of, dreamlike reality. Yeah, okay, we might be sitting in a reality right now, in a life where it's almost hell on earth. I get it. But we have the opportunity to look within ourselves and see how can we make our own heaven on earth. It's up to us. No one else. No one else is going to sit and do the work for us. No one else is going to just grab a tray and hand over all of, the blessings and abundance that we so rightly deserve. We need to work for it. It's a two-way street. Everything is a two-way street. It's a give and a take. The universe doesn't just give. It also takes. So whatever you're putting out to the universe is what it's giving back. If you're telling the universe that I'm lacking this, that, and the other, it's going to give you more of this, that, and the other. If you're telling the universe that, hey, I am abundant as I am right now. I am full and complete with where I am right now. I am blessed. I am abundant. I am loved. All of these things, they're going to come back and boomerang to us. So remember the give and take. And it also applies to your relationships. You must give in order to receive, and vice versa. A woman holding a coin, and this is upright. These are cards that fell out face up. Walking away in reverse. Deceit in reverse. Community upright. The thinking woman in reverse. And the fourth chakra Archangel Raphael. So we have some interesting energies here. All right, get ready, because when you make this decision to finally close out a cycle and to start a new one and stop messing around and stop resisting and stop telling spirit that you know better, and to realize that maybe you don't know better and that you're being guided somewhere, well, the outcome of it is going to be you and you're sitting in your power and in your abundance, sitting on your throne and not allowing anybody to knock you off of it. It feels like we are learning to accept that not only are we not in control, but accept that we do have power. Accept that we have been giving our power up to people who do not deserve it. People who are using it for malintentions. It could be in our work life. It could be in our home life. It could be in our world in general. We have elites. We have people that are literally putting a straw in every single human and sucking the living life out of them. You know how they're doing it? The straw is our stupid cell phones. The straw is literally our phones, our devices, our technology as a whole. It's eating us up. But when we reclaim our power, we can use it as a reverse psychology type of template and use technology for our own betterment, for a resource, as a tool to not only get out there and communicate with the world, but also to lead by example, to follow our passions, to show people what we do. So either you can be like every other Joe Blow and be staring at your phone or your laptop or whatever and just be a mindless human, or you can really see that there is a soul within you that's calling and begging you to please pay attention to me. Please pay attention to me, because I am that genius child that you never thought you had. I am that unique soul being that will help communicate with the divine so that you can receive more abundance and more blessings without having to work so damn hard. Yes, it's going to be hard. We're getting there, but when you're there, it's going to pay off. And no, it's not going to stop there, because you're going to have to keep striving. But I promise you, it's going to feel a lot less like work and more like love and joy than the 9 to 5 that you're working now. So I challenge you to see how you can figure out a way to tap out of that matrix, tap out of that world conditioning, and find out how you can mold your own self to reclaim your power. With walking away in reverse, it signals that you may be feeling very stuck in some present situation. Yeah, it feels like we're resisting. We're definitely feeding into our habits and feeding into the familiar. Perhaps maybe you feel the timing isn't quite right, that there may be some purpose in staying a little while longer, but don't deceive yourself about your motivations. Fear-based decisions don't often work out in your highest interest. Yes. Whenever you walk away from negativity, you always move toward greater happiness. Yeah, so we're at a crossroads of either sticking with the status quo or sticking with, wherever we've been in this however long, because it's comfortable. It may not be ideal, but it's comfortable and it's working and it's safe. Okay? Just because you don't know what's down this other road doesn't necessarily mean that it's not safe. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not meant for you. When a road presents itself, more than likely it was meant for you. So don't be afraid to open the damn door. Who cares what's on the other side? You know what matters is the fact that you're on your 2 feet and you're listening to your guides and you're allowing them to protect you. You're allowing them to say, "Hey, I'm the light and you are the light, and let's illuminate this together so that we can push through the darkness." That's all that it is. It's okay. I know a lot of you guys are afraid of the dark, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't provide your own flashlight. Okay? So let's buck it up here just a little bit. We have deceit in reverse. I do want to go back to my book with this one because this reading is very, I don't want to say tedious, but there's a lot in here, a lot of messages in here that I don't want to miss. Okay, the deceit of the past is over or about to end. Perhaps some negativity is being dissolved. Maybe a more open communication has developed in your personal life. Be assured that the negative and dishonest energy is on its way out. Take advantage of a new, peaceful, and open environment, one where you will be able to forge more success and greater comfort. You're learning to find comfort in a new environment. You're adapting. So it's good news, because as you're adapting, you're allowing to shed what no longer resonates. Let go of what no longer suits you and caters to you. Next, we have community. With community, it feels as we're doing this, we're actually attracting energies that are matching our vibration. We're finding people who have something to offer into our life. It could be mentorships, it could be more guides, it could be, building a community of some sort of individuals, just completely different individuals who somehow come together because of spirituality, somehow come together because you're meant to fulfill this mission with them. Maybe you're looking into, this is an example, maybe you're looking into starting a nonprofit and you are looking for individuals who have like-minded and very similar vibrations to you so that you can fulfill that mission of opening a nonprofit. whatever it is that you might be looking to do, you're going to need extra pair of hands. So don't be too prideful to ask for help. Don't be too prideful to even accept help, or to open up your environment, your bubble, to new people. Because you never know, those people might actually be a huge blessing in your life and might help you lead to better abundance and better blessings. The thinking woman is in reverse, and this is the card we have next. What I get from this card is that it's kind of a difficult time for your personal growth. So going back at all of the things that are showing, don't forget to stop and reflect on how much progress you've made thus far. Don't forget to look back and see that you've really done the work here, and it's time to push away those anxieties and reclaim your power. Tap into your heart chakra so that you can know yourself and love yourself unconditionally, and therefore it's going to be that much easier to love unconditionally to those around you. You're going to need it for whatever mission you're being called on. So look inward and really learn how to tap into that state of unconditional love. Allow the healing energy to shower you so that you can shed and make the choice to walk away from things that just no longer resonate with your life. We have strategy in reverse. Woman holding a heart in reverse. Door to romance, upright. Blossoming abundance, upright. Healer of the ages in reverse. And carrying connections in reverse. As we are allowing our pride to get in the way, it's getting in the way of our relationships with ourselves, our relationships with our loved ones, and right now it's the time to really cater to that. Because we're not owning our power, we're having a hard time strategizing on how we want to get things done and how we want to fulfill the mission that we have been given. We're starting to realize that there are things that are calling us, but we're a little overwhelmed on how we can go about acting on that and creating a plan of action to take on that mission and fulfill it. Because we are sitting in that lack mentality, we're actually ripping ourselves in the idea of self-love. We are feeding too much into our negative energies, feeding too much into the things that are blocking us from our overall power. Door to romance, and it's upright to me, is signifying that you have the opportunity to, once you reclaim your power, it's going to open up that door to romance. Either you've broken up with a person recently, and that maybe you were questioning on whether or not this person is supposed to go with you to fulfill the mission or whatnot. But if that's the case, and once you reclaim your power, the door might open to another romantic partner. So don't forget that everything happens for a reason. So if you're being called to let go of someone, even if it hurts, I suggest that you let go. Don't resist, because it's only going to make matters worse, and it's only going to get harder when you keep pushing forward. Blossoming abundance is speaking to the fact that when this person comes into your life and you allow them to come into your life, you're also going to be receiving a lot more abundance, a lot more blessings in your life. It could be because this person could be a romantic partner that is also a business partner, or it could be a mentor, a potential romantic partner that could be a mentor to your business. But either way, right now you're lacking balance of your power. You're lacking that the will to take reins of your own life. You've been feeling extremely out of sorts, or even upside down in your own life. You might be losing energy, but there's deeper levels of healing that need to be addressed. Take some time to regroup and put your own healing first. Yes, that goes back to the 2 green cards that I pulled out from my last deck. Quiet your mind and feel his vibration bringing you warmth and healing, light clearing any dark or hurting space. Yes. So you are definitely healing, and as you're healing, you might lose some connections, but at the end of the day, this is all happening for a greater scheme of things, a bigger plan. So don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to shed, and remember that on the other side of the door, there's going to be plenty of abundance, plenty of love, plenty of like-minded people that are ready to be there for you, to support you, to guide you, to assist you, and to be a resource in your life. But you must open up and create that space for betterment, okay? I love you guys. I hope that you found some messages in this reading. I'm sorry that it was so long. I really wasn't expecting the amount of cards to be pulled today, but Spirit had something to say. I know it's a lot, but the time is now, guys, and we can't waste any more time by trying to feed our excuses. It's time to really let go and confront our soul selves and where we need to heal, because there's no better time than the now, okay? I love you guys. Like I said, if you want a personal reading, I am available for personal readings. Just hit me up either on my Instagram. All my information should be below in the description box. And if anything, you can always email me as well. I love you guys, and like I said, with love and light, namaste. See ya.